Hey guys, got another Draft League review here for you. This week's battle's gonna be Gabe versus Tim. This is the battle for week 4, I believe. And yeah, for this one I haven't actually seen the battle yet, so it should be interesting to react to the results in real time. And yeah, this is certainly an interesting match. I think these are two of the more offensive teams in Draft League. I mean, there's a lot of offensive teams, but I think these two are really pulling out a lot of attackers. Though interestingly, we see Gabe did opt to bring certain things like Dragon Bolt and Halucha, which might be staples, whereas I think Tim pretty much has a standard squad, except we see Audino, Omega Audino there, which is really interesting, and I'm wondering how that might play out through the match. So let's just get right into it. Let's see, who could the leads be? Got Meadow King from Gabe, classic lead, Stealth Rocks, they kind of threaten everything in a lot of situations. Would be Galvantula here, who's kind of an obvious lead from Tim. Tim goes for Staraptor, fierce Wall Breaker. Gabe takes out Nido King, Milotic comes in. Good wall, but I don't think it can quite keep hits from Staraptor, though thankfully Tim sends Staraptor out, which is very fortunate for Gabe. I think the thing with Staraptor is that you kind of just have to go spam those stab moves, but I get that it's so early where you're not going to go for your turn instead, just in case he brought something like Lycanroc, which could kind of take the Brave Bird and hit it back. But even like Electros and Lycanroc don't take Brave Birds that well. That's just how powerful Staraptor is. So he brings in Mamoswine. Gabe takes out Milotic, brings in Nidoking. Obviously, get Nidoking with Mamoswine, as one would do. Mamoswine's going to hit a Slowbro. It's probably not going to do much, especially on Ice Quick Crash. Mamoswine's only real option for Slowbro are like Knockoff or Freeze Dry. But because, as we see now, Gabe has Mega, even though this wouldn't really help him, probably. And it seems to be locked in. I do not know why you would stay in on Slowbro. This seems like a big mistake from Tim. I mean, Slowbro switches aren't abundant, but I imagine Audino or even Azumarill could work okay, or maybe even Galvantula for just a stronger stab. So he does bring in Galvantula, which would have made a lot more sense in the turn ago, I guess. Maybe he was trying to bait a switch from Gabe, I'm not really sure. But Galvantula takes the Scald like a champ, can threaten with the Thunder move, but looks like Gabe's going to Electros, just a good choice. Probably goes for Electric, but he doesn't go for Electric. Oh, he goes for Bug, and it actually kills, probably thanks to that crit. That is pretty hilarious, actually. That's two battles. Looked like Gabe was really in control of that situation, but that crit can take it all off. Though, like, to be honest, if it was a 2-hit KO, then the crit didn't matter. I don't know if it's 2-hit KO or not, but it looks like it might have been if that crit OKO'd. So Gabe gets up Stealth Rock for the line of weakening Staraptor, Mamoswine, Galvantula on their switches. I imagine he can threaten to take Galvantula out with a Rock Slide or Excel Rock here. Tim goes to a Dino. Interesting to see what this can do. I mean, I'm actually a big fan of Mega Dino in Draft Leagues. I think it's underrated, though those are more like loose point-based systems where you get a shit ton of points for drafting Audino. But yeah, this isn't one of those leagues, but I still think it's pretty decent as a cleric routine. Gabe brings in Nidoking, classic option, one of those things that can tear through Mega Dino, right? You need a really strong Steel or Poison type to do that usually, but Nidoking definitely fits the bill. Tim sacks Mamoswine. Honestly, that probably makes sense here without like really smart reads. You're not going to tag anything from Nidoking. So like, yeah, you could have switched in Staraptor there, but that's kind of a wild read. If anything, Gabe was probably trying to bait him into switching in Tyrantrum on the Poison move and get him Earth Power. So Azumarill comes out, does absolutely nothing, doesn't even get an Aqua Jet. That is really unfortunate. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't have gone for Aqua Jet there. Even if you think Azumarill can tank it, it's just, this Nidoking is a threat and you want to make sure you're doing much damage to it. But I suppose, maybe the wisdom is that you can just KO it now, Staraptor, so I guess I was wrong about the Aqua Jet. But sending Azumarill out there in the first place is kind of a mistake, right? You gotta check your calcs on these things. At least, unless Tim was making some 4D chess move, I don't understand. There's always a chance of that. But yeah, I would kind of disagree with the play there. So Lycanroc comes back out. Is he threatening with Stone? He's threatening with Accelerock, certainly. As far as I'm concerned, it's not confirmed as Staraptor's band or Scarf, or at least from my perspective. Gabe might have had it figured out at this point. But it's kind of the same kind of threat either way. This game's pretty close right now, I would say, but Gabe, I think, is going to reveal, as Milotic often does, its ability to just shut down any unboosted physical attacker, really. And I wouldn't count Staraptor as unboosted if it's banned. If it's Scarf, Milotic might be able to take that too, but as we can see, like, Milotic can just take on this Tyrantrum without trying that hard. Just gets her recovered, eats up some health. This is the fiercer nature of Milotic, that even when it's losing health from burn, it's still impossible to break because that marble scale. Let's see, Galvantula comes in, let's see what happens. Gabe go for a cover and attack, nope, goes for a cover. A Scald would have been a really nice read there, but I can't blame him necessarily if it looked like Threat just keeps spamming moves. It's unfortunate that Galvantula's never gotten to go for webs this game. That might have really helped Tim against something like Nidoking or whatever, but it looks like he does bring down Milotic. I'm surprised Gabe didn't sack Lycanroc. I can kind of see the wisdom in saving Lycanroc. My issue might be that Dino is alive, it has enough health where it can be eating hits. But at the very least, Tim's not going to go... Well, I guess Tim couldn't really have the luxury of switching, right? Because this Galvantula is at the point where it dies to rocks and he's got no removal. Definitely a big problem with the team he brought. I mean, Staraptor could have Defog. I kind of doubt it because he wasn't using it like it had Defog, and it also just might not even work because Staraptor's frail and you want it to be like those big damage moves. So it brings in Slowbro. Maybe that can take it from Tyrantrum. Oh, well, there you go. That took a hit, guys. Gabe EV trained in accuracy in evasion. It's fine. Let's see. So he gets hit. It actually is a 2-hit KO. So I think that miss last turn didn't really matter, which is incredible. I mean, Tyrantra's powerful, but the testament to how bulky Gabe's water types are, and you go on a physical bulky water types with Mega Slowbro and Milotic, and they're just eating hits from Tyrantrum like they're not anything. So the Raptor can break through, though, certainly at this point. But this is where the way. Oh, we went for U-turn. I think Brave Bird actually, or Double Edge would have done more damage there. Looks like they might have not killed that. Slowbro's clearly max defense, I would say. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's taking those hits like nobody's business. So let's see what Dino is. I don't know his wish, right? Maybe if Dino was a Combine set, Tim can pull through here. Otherwise, it looks like Gabe can just mess around for a while. And then probably bring in Didi, who if it was standard and had like choice specs or Combine could maybe beat Audino. But I think if Audino is not Combine or something, it's just too passive to really win here, especially since the Raptor is just going to die on switching, so this Audino is just kind of trapped. And like, yeah, then Didi pulls out Combine, but it's over. Or what I could also do is Mystical Fire, then Expanding Force, and just get like the unwinnable stall game. Just because Gabe has 2 Pokemon that can stay alive easily with Slowbro and Didi. Oh, because Reduced Knockup does a lot of damage to Didi, which wouldn't have expected. Cuts the health, certainly. It doesn't seem like Gabe's revealing Combine, which means that as long as a Dino plays properly, he can't really break through. But I don't think a Dino played properly, right? Because it didn't use Wish there. It should have gone for Wish to use Knockup again, which is fine. But you see now you die to the Didi, I think he needed to take a stallier mindset. To be fair, I don't know if he could have won still, because I don't know what his last move is, and I don't know what Slowbro's moves are, and that gets into an ugly PP stall war. But I think he had a chance there. I think he definitely flubbed it with that knockup for Wish. So overall, I would say that game was interesting. I do think Tim made a couple of just small mistakes, and even though he got lucky with that critical Bug Buzz, that might have not mattered. Again, if it was 2 KO'd, it kind of balanced out with the head smash miss later, even if, again, that might have not mattered. I feel like the Haxton's game really didn't matter overall. Like, I feel like these are all going to be the same. And there's a couple of small mistakes, I would say, from Tim that just kind of piled up. But overall, I think both people did pretty well. And Tim, really, I was surprised at the end. He really came it close. I think if that Aldino wished, I'm not saying he could have won, but he could have gotten into, like, a really tight 1-0 Slowbro with just, like, and who knows if Gabe made a mistake or didn't have the right PP set to really outstall Audino. I don't know what that last move was. Maybe, imagine Dazzling Gleam or Hyper Voice, maybe Heal Bell. But if it was something like, well, not Combine, maybe Combine, because he'd take this call better. But it was, I don't know what, maybe certainly if it was Toxic, right, or even Thunder Wave, maybe that could have won the game. Well, Thunder is kind of bad for PP Stall War. Look, I'm not saying Audino would have won, but it could have been close. If it had Toxic, which I don't think it did, because Toxic Slowbro a year ago, right? But that would have been interesting to see. Yeah, so, you know, kind of straightforward game, but I enjoyed watching it. Shame Electros didn't get to do anything. You know, I love my boy Electros, but that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you get Bug Buzz to death instantly. Interesting sets on both sides. Gabe just showing off, again, how obnoxious bulky water types are. Tim showing off the brute force of his offense, but it ultimately just couldn't get through not only those bulky walls Gabe brought, but also those attackers he brought were Nido-King, which like there's no switch in for him, obviously, right? There's just going to be a defensive team against Nido-King. But that combined with the speed and pressure of Lycanroc, I think, just put such pressure on Tim where he didn't even need to bring in DD basically till the end, and it didn't do much. Well, obviously it did. That was more of a Dino Flub, slower than doing the real lifting there. And Electros just died instantly, but right, it didn't matter. Like, that's how well prepared Gabe was with those two water types and his wall breakers. But yeah, good game to see, and only one more of these for week 5 and toward a playoff, so looking forward to that. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.